Good evening. I'm gonna wait a minute here, see if we can get some more people on. I did say I would start at 7, so we're just gonna wait a minute. Oh, there's somebody there. You can say hi, so I know who you are, who I'm reading to tonight. I don't know if I'll ever do this again, but this book fascinates me a little bit, so I just thought it would be fun to read. I guess I could show you. I did put a picture on earlier and then I shared it. So if you want to share the video, that's fine. But you might want to post that it is published in 1925. So it is appropriate. Well, it was never appropriate. It's indicative of the time that it was published in. So I haven't really done any research on it. There is a series of books, a little, like 3 or 4 boy ones and 3 or 4 girl ones. Four boy ones and 4 girl ones. Oh, it was published in 1927. What actually caught my eye is she's wearing a little Volendam costume. So that's a province in the Netherlands. So that's really why I bought it, was because Pella and our Dutch heritage. So that is why I picked it out. So, hey Beth, I'm glad that you can join me as you're driving. All right, so there's quite a few of you guys on, and so I am gonna get started. Oh, you guys can see there's paint on my hands. Here, let me show you. I'm painting these cute little boxes for spring. So that's why I have paint on my fingers. So, all right. So the title of this book is Peek-a-Boo Bess. And I'm sorry, I think it is backwards for you, but this is the way I get to read the comments. So it was published in 1927 by McLaughlin Brothers Incorporated, published in the United States in Springfield, Massachusetts. So this book I found in Hollister, Missouri, which is a tiny little town just south of Branson. It's basically like a suburb of Branson if Branson had suburbs. So, all right, so here we go. Peek-a-Boo Bess. I'll try and show you pictures as I change. And in the little chat my friend Mike and I had going, he did ask me what it's worth, and I did see it, and I did screenshot it for $87. Mine isn't as in good of condition. I mean, you can see on the back it's been taped. The front, it's also been taped, and then inside it's also. So this is pretty rough. But what would you look like if you were 1927? You'd be 95 years old. Okay, so originally this book sold for, there's a mark for 25 cents. I guess I can kind of show you guys these things. For 25 cents, it's crossed out, and then 5 cents. I don't know if it got put on sale or what. So, all right, here goes. Peek-a-Boo Bess. Oh, that's really, it is not meant to be read. And like I said earlier, there are 4 books in this series, Peek-a-Boo Girls and Peek-a-Boo Boys. There's 4 in each, published in 1927. So I'm going to show you the page and then I'll read it. Hey Heidi, hi Mike. All right, so really do keep in mind that there were many cultural inappropriateness in 1927 or thereabouts. So there's going to be things in here. Obviously, it's just what's in the book, okay? So here we go. Nobody ever looked milder and sweeter, at least I have never yet happened to meet her, than Bess as she sat in a taxi or bus, giving no trouble and making no fuss. Yet all in a moment, in a room or on a road, her goodness was suddenly apt to explode. As a peek-a-boos will, it surprised people, yes, but the biggest surprise was to Peek-a-Boo Bess. Okay, and then, sorry, I think the pages are just rather thick. Okay, so here's the second page. A kind invitation, most loving and hearty, came to Aunt Adeline's fancy dress party. Bess, she received it as coolly as ice, and once remarked, "That really is quite nice." But deep in her heart, she had bottled up tight such lovely behavior to show on that night. She thought, what a treasure, dear aunt, you'll possess in your good little relative, Peekaboo Bess. The evening arrived, I'm almost afraid, to try and describe how Miss Bess was arrayed. In rainbow colors and snowy white cap, with her favorite dolly, a dear little chap. She was meant, I should say, but you never can tell, to look like a Dutch girl, and did it quite well. I am perfectly certain, I think, to impress my aunt and my cousins, purred Peekaboo Bess. All right, so far so good. Rather thick pages. All right, here's the next page. But the taxi she ordered was feeble and old. It came to a stop, and she shortly was told it couldn't go on. She must get out and trot in her beautiful boots. Bess exclaimed, "I shall not." And she grew so excited, so noisy and red, as she brandished her doll at the taximan's head, that he bolted for home like a fowl in distress, deserting his taxi and Peekaboo Bess. It was snowing and blowing and horribly chilly. Bess muttered, "The man is without doubt a silly," as she huddled inside and she tried to keep warm, but you couldn't do that in so heavy a storm. She attempted to sleep, and she made herself snug with a cloak and a mat and the taxi man's rug. But it's not meant for winter, a fancy Dutch dress, and alas, so she found wretched. Poor Peekaboo Bess. Poor little thing. She's all shivering cold. Okay, there's the next page. The snow was now lying and getting more deep. Bess said to herself, "This is no time for sleep. I must get to the party by hook or by crook." So safe on her shoulder her dolly she took, and she wrapped herself close in the rug, and she placed the mat round her head and the cloak round her waist. A very odd sight, yes, indeed, I confess. A figure of fun was our Peekaboo Bess. She staggered along through the wind and the snow with a faint notion of where she would go. But at last, after hours it seemed, on the march, she saw a big gateway, an evergreen arch, with welcome in green lights shining in grand, and she blubbered with gladness. You'll quite understand. She well might have wondered till morning at last, this luck that had fallen poor Peekaboo Bess. Okay, so she has apparently got to the party. That's important. Okay, I swear I'm like missing pages. I just think the paper's really thick. Then suddenly, out of the height of the storm, there burst on this party a globular form, round like a ball or an orange, you know, in marvelous wrappings and covered with snow. It looked like some sort of a bush, but with roots, were hidden, if so, in remarkable boots. Folks thought it was a fancy costume, but you'll guess 'twas the sad, weary traveler, Peekaboo Bess. There wasn't a creature in mask or in a wig, in cavalier suit or in Chinaman's rig, in a cap or a turban, in a fez or in a hat, to match with what Bess and the taxi cab met. "What are you?" they cried as they crowded around. She only could utter a hoarse, croaky sound. "But plucky as ever," she said, "if you please. The first prize to me, I'm a little Dutch cheese." Poor little Bess. Do you see the little figures up there? Hi, Linda. Hi, Peggy. I am reading a book that I found at a thrift store called Peekaboo Bess. So it was published in 1927. When Bess had been dried and had been warmed and been fed, her aunt wanted badly to put her to bed, and had told her adventures most deeply admired. She began to feel jolly and not a bit tired. She was laughing and talking and dancing away, and finding herself uncommonly gay, when a voice said, "Excuse me, but I do address a cross-patched young woman called Peek-a-Boo Bess." "The taxi man, horror," he went on to say, "you've took both my mat and my rubber away. You've hurt me extreme with the hard words you spoke, and here you are all treating it all as a joke. What's more, as you simply insisted to go to a party my cab has got stuck in the snow, you must pay me some $25, more or less, or I'll soon have the law on you, Peek-a-Boo Bess." A cute little taxi man there. Then Bess, being suddenly quite overloaded with wrath and surprise, why, her goodness exploded. She flew on the taxi man, shrieking like mad, "You stupid, you humbug, you duffer, you cad." And the fancy dress dancers all started to screech in peekaboo style, with a new yell to each, and a row which Aunt Adeline failed to suppress arose round the driver and Peek-a-Boo Bess. The taxi man gurgled in terror, "Why, who have I got among? Parrot House up at the zoo?" And he dropped to his knees with a thud and a plop, and begged of her, "Missy, do tell him to stop. I'll be quite satisfied with my regular fare, especially seeing I left you out there. You're making the floor in a horrible mess. Get up, here's your money," said Peek-a-Boo Bess. That's what kids had to read in the 1920s, apparently. The taxi man softened when given some food, for the turkey and stuffing were toppingly good, and although it was late, yet he offered to wait. He had got his old cab with him out at the gates. So all became friends, and with large staring eyes he watched the Dutch cheese as she took the first prize. For everyone voted the biggest success of the fancy dress party was Peek-a-Boo Bess. Alright, there's the last page. So it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Because when I looked, the page I opened and read, it was the one about the Chinaman. And I'm like, oh dear, I think it's full of it. But it really wasn't too bad. So just a fun little book. And there's more in the series. But here it is again. Peek-a-Boo Bess, published in 1927. Yes, duffering cad. I'm sure you could use that in many situations, you duffering cad. All right, I'm just going to do a quick... Oh, and by the way, Michael asked earlier, this book, from what I found, was worth $87 in a little bit better condition. So if anybody is interested, I think, gosh, I don't know. It's seen somewhere. I'd say make me an offer, but make me a good offer. Wasn't that fun, Linda? All right, so now I'm going to do my thrift haul. I like little black Sambo. He's cute. This is what I got last night at an estate sale. So, I think I might have to find some more books. It was kind of fun. All right, bicycle basket. And I paid $1 for it. It's kind of fun. I'll use it for staging. It's pretty dusty. And then I don't think this one is terribly old. I think it's got a date of 92, so it's not terribly old. But one thing that's super popular or is really coming back is botanicals, birds, butterflies, framed like that. So I paid $3 for that. All right. And then, this is so pretty. I really don't like to buy glassware all that much. It has to be, I don't know, just, it has to be something that's a little bit different. I don't really like plain glass especially. So, this is pink. It is pressed glass. I don't think it's like super old, because it doesn't, I don't think it's depression glass. It doesn't have the rich, darker pinks of depression glass, but I just thought it was really pretty, especially with Valentine's Day coming up. Candy dish, of course, you know, or whatever you like to put in there, but, I just thought it was really pretty, the pinks for Valentine's Day. And then tomorrow, I've got a few more things, but Beth is coming with my 3 missing boxes from Branson. I think only 3 boxes. All right. I love vintage children's toys. So she had quite a few of them. This one I didn't have in my collection. So who remembers playing with this guy? I think I do. Like every daycare in America had this. Cute little puppy. She had one that had a clown, but the paper was really coming off of it. So, and I paid $3 for it. The estate sale that I go to, it's about once a month. She buys houses and then sells the stuff in the house. So, and it's usually multiple households. And then she has a barn that she opens up. So, 2 wooden candlesticks. I think I'm going to paint these because they're kind of boring. If they had a little more decoration, I probably would leave them alone, but they're just kind of basic. So I think I'm going to paint those. Make them white and chippy. I think it was a candle holder night. Goodness. So I got this. And these take teeny tiny candles. Look at that. They're not even... Oh, I do have paper candles on my table in front of me. See, this is just like a regular taper candle, and it is too small for that. So, it's not... They're just... I love them. They're kind of that Lumiere look from Beauty and the Beast. So I don't know what size candle those are, but I like them. Candles always just add such nice warmth to your home. That is just, I've got some scented thing going in the kitchen at the moment. It's just nice, especially in the winter, to have like candles and stuff. I bought the weirdest assortment of stuff. Sorry, it's in a box down beside me, so I gotta bend over and get everything. Alright. There was no... Oh. There was literally no rhyme or reason to this. This one is missing. I'm sure it's in my box. These are just like little drawer pulls. But I think they're really pretty. I got 2 of them. So, I don't know. I just really liked them. Huh. I'm sure it's in my pile. Okay, and then the lady that they bought the house from, she must have collected cats. So it's kind of a cat night. Once again, I think it qualifies as vintage. It's 1988. Sadly, that qualifies as vintage. It's just really sweet. Look at that little mouse on there. I'm not really a huge cat person, but can you guys see that really good? Digger. Which one was Digger? I don't remember what Digger, like who made it. And then another cat. seriously, cat collector, and I just bought the ones I thought were cute. This is a little planter. It says Bates flowers. I have no idea. Must have come with a little arrangement in it. But it's just sweet. So if you like cats, I got cats tonight. I also have a hearth broom. I saw, I'm going to have to look up Digger because I don't remember that one for some reason. Somebody had just, I think made like a wall, like a gallery wall that was just like hung 3 little hearth brooms or something together. It just looked cute. So I'm going to keep an eye out for those. I think this is my other cat. I didn't go crazy with the cats. I could have. They had everything cats. But I did manage to keep it in check. I don't know. I just thought this one looked really good. So I bought it. Once again, these aren't super old. But I just think sometimes when you can make a grouping in your home, it's just nice to have these like things that are cozy and warming. It just kind of turns your house into a home. I also bought a wooden rolling pin. I guess it does roll. But I have seen lately where they're like taking the wooden rolling pins, especially if they're not like super old, and then like putting like decoupaging pretty paper. I know, I felt like that cat had a little bit of personality, right? It's more of like a decor piece. So this is definitely not a let's use it piece. Alright. And then I have been making, oh my gosh, I got a ton. I don't even know how many she gave me for $5. All of these hankies. I have been, some of these I'm probably just gonna, they're kind of gross. I mean, I don't know if they're silk or if they're, but I would never blow my nose on that. It's like, ooh, look at this one. Like, it must have purely been decorative. It's like shiny. Oh, Peggy, this is a good solid piece of wood on that rolling pin. I was just gonna get crafty with it, but if you want it, that's not a problem. Anyway, I have been making pillows, taking the hankies and like making it the center square, and then a pretty coordinating piece of fabric. Because nobody's ever gonna use these hankies again. I don't think anybody uses hankies. Okay, Michael, I totally don't remember what I said that made you comment like that. But look how pretty this is. Look at the detail on that. It's just so pretty. Here's Andy sneaking by. But like, seriously, I don't know, maybe this was one of the hankies you just brought to church and you wiped a tear away or something. I don't know. It's just, bleh. I can't handle it. So yes, I am merely just using these for decorative purposes. Beth and I found some where you just like framed like 4 or 5 of them, just the points of them. This one has cute little duckies on it. Look at that. Little embroidered ducks. That'd be so cute for... Oh. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Alright, and then, oh, the last thing I have here are these fabulous brown clocks. One has the Old Tavern on it. A blend of rare and something cheese. I can't read it. The label's mostly gone. Keep cold. So what people are doing with these Crocs, because vintage, but not antique. So keep that in mind. They're like stamping in white, like French words. I've seen that. So it looks like French farmhouse. So, and then there's just 2 plain brown ones at all. But look at all the colors on those. Those are awesome. And they're heavy. So that's maybe what I would do. I might just sell them as is too. The difference between vintage and antique. Vintage has to be, I think, 25 years. And then somebody today, I was watching YouTube, and she said antique has to be like 100. I don't think that's true. I think I would put an antique of 60, 75 years. It changes all the time what people are looking for. Like right now, everybody is, I shouldn't say everybody, people are really liking mid-century modern. So things that basically our parents grew up with. But also, like, my kids in their early 20s, that generation coming up and starting to buy stuff, they want stuff that was in our houses growing up. So, like, in the 70s and 80s. Which is why something like this cat... Oh, is Google saying at least 100? Okay, thanks, Linda. I was sort of blown away by the 100. But honestly, that only puts things in the 1920s. Which that doesn't seem like that long ago to me. Which probably means I'm getting older, right? But this vintage stuff is really accessible to people in their early 20s. So, the people that are putting their homes together, getting married, starting families, they want things that are like from the 70s and 80s. So, and a lot of it is style. I really appreciate things like Art Deco, Art Nouveau. That's kind of like, if I had to choose what I really like. But, all right, 100. Nothing on my table except the Peekaboo Bess book is an antique. But, honestly, I don't really want to buy antiques. I'm not that kind of a collector. Well, I'm not supposed to be a collector. I'm supposed to be a reseller. So there's the difference, right? Yeah, so when I'm out looking, I'm not looking for super old stuff. I'll let the people who want to do that. So, okay, so that was my thrift haul from last night. Josh and I went out to the estate sale, and actually it's tonight. It was till 7. It's done tonight, and then again tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I don't think I'm gonna go. I have sewing to do, and then my job at the post office. So thanks everybody who watched tonight. If you guys want to see me find more books and read them, that was kind of fun, and not near as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So, all right. I don't know. You guys are still on, so we could keep talking if you want, but I think I'm gonna call it. If I was a cat, I would be a Persian. Are you saying I'm fluffy? Is that what you're saying? Thanks, Michael. All right. We'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.